Hello, my name is Rachel Larson, and I'm the Assistant Dean of Academic and Career Development at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Business. Part of my role is to help students find their career paths after graduation. So I'm so excited to talk to you today with Will Blatchford, who's going to tell us a little bit about his internships opportunities.
Hi, super happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Well, so where are you from? What's your major?
Yeah, from Lincoln, Nebraska. Graduated from Pius High School. Currently majoring in finance and economics at UNL. Enjoyed every part of it so far and going into my junior year now.
Well, and I know that as a rising junior, it's pretty incredible that you've already had a couple internship opportunities.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, for sure. So my first internship that I actually completed was an investment internship with NBC Trust Company. NBC Trust Company is a wealth management shop in the south side of Lincoln with around 10 employees. It was a super great experience. It was 1 year through the school year and a little bit of the summer. What I got to do there was, hands-on work with client portfolios. Got to make recommendations for investments that we put into client portfolios, and was really just a great experience overall, working with a small team, a lot of autonomy, and being able to get my foot in the workplace and learn some soft skills as well was great. And then I currently am starting an internship with Skyline Advisors. This is an investment bank in Omaha, Nebraska, and there I'll get a lot of work in Excel, PowerPoint, doing financial modeling and valuations for companies. And so it's super exciting work, and it's something that I've prepared for a while, so I'm super excited to get into it.
That's great. Well, how did you find these opportunities?
Yeah, so Skyline Advisors, I found that internship through Wall Street Scholars. Skyline recruits directly from Wall Street Scholars. They usually take one intern a year from the group, and this year I was lucky enough to perform well on my interview and eventually land the role. But a lot of the internship for NBC Trust Company, that one I found by, I was just really trying to get my foot in the door with finance and, going on Google Maps and seeing every finance, spot in Lincoln or Omaha, where can I get my foot in the door? Eventually cold emailed a couple of the guys at NBC Trust Company. They saw my email, they responded, and the next day we had a coffee chat and got an interview from there. And so, putting the preparation in and really wanting to get that experience is, I think, what helped me.
Yeah, I love that hard groundwork effort that you put into that first internship. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned Wall Street Scholars of Nebraska, which is a student organization here on campus. So tell me a little bit more about that group.
Yeah, so Wall Street Scholars is an investment banking, private equity focused group. Currently we have around 40 students, and essentially we meet twice a week. One of the meetings usually consists of bringing in a speaker, whether that's currently an investment banker or a private equity associate, or maybe it's an alumni from the group. Whatever they do, usually involving corporate finance, they come in, they might give a little presentation on where they are, what they do at their firm, and then we have the opportunity to ask questions to them. So those are usually Wednesday night meetings. Those are great. And then Thursday night meetings, we have technical meetings, which are preparing the underclassmen for interviews, whether it be going over accounting, valuation, discounted cash flow analysis, just really getting those hard skills honed into the underclassmen. So when they get to these interviews for these high finance jobs, they can ace them.
That's awesome. Well, and I know you mentioned networking and interviewing, which is a bit of part of our curriculum, actually.
Yeah.
So as an empowered professional, we have what is called our Professional Enhancement Program. So this is a series of 4 classes that students are required to take to help them be confident, professional, and connected by the time that they graduate. So tell me a little bit more about what you've learned in those particular courses.
Yeah, so I would say that BizEd 222 through the Professional Enhancement Program was definitely the most impactful on me so far. I took it my second semester of freshman year, and I think what I gained most from that was just learning how to build my resume and how to present myself to professionals, including the practice networking event that we had, talking to employers, knowing how those conversations go and practicing those conversations, knowing what questions to ask, and just how to behave in a professional environment like that really helped me when it came to the summer, when it was really time for me to network with other professionals. It was just really good to have that practice, and then also an instructor to guide me throughout that process and really hone in on my resume and find what sticks and find what's going to make me pop out to an employer.
So what other classes here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln have been beneficial for you as you've gone through your internships? What have you learned and been able to apply in them?
Yeah, I'd say there's definitely a few courses that I've taken that have fit well into my internships and really given me the experience that I needed to excel. I mean, I would say first off, my internship with Skyline Advisors, you really need to understand the accounting basics and what makes those income statements drive. And so I think, Accounting 201, Accounting 313, those financial accounting courses have been super helpful for me. The instructors have been super helpful. They really just make every piece of the puzzle clear. And that's what I needed to know for my internships. And I needed those accounting basics to really understand what I'm doing. And they've done a super great job in making me understand those concepts.
That's great. Well, I know Warren Buffett said that accounting is the language of business.
Yes.
So even with your finance and economics degrees, accounting is still very helpful with that.
Exactly, yeah. I actually added an accounting minor partly because, you see that on the walls here at UNL and you see how successful Warren Buffett was, and you see you have to understand accounting to really immerse yourself in finance. And so yeah, I couldn't agree more, but I feel like everyone agrees with Warren Buffett, everything he says, but yeah.
Great. Well, what is something that you've accomplished in your past internship that you are really proud of?
Yeah, so I'd say at NBC Trust Company, one of the things that I was most proud of was I had the opportunity to build a 3 financial statement model on a public company in the healthcare industry. And that's something that I had never done before. I really hadn't taken up a task like that. I had previously worked in the Big Red Investment Club, building a little less complicated model, but really immersing myself in this company and digging into their 10K and seeing what makes them tick, and eventually being able to present a presentation to my boss to make an investment recommendation on a public company was something that was super exciting for me. A lot of autonomy too. I learned a ton. And I was eventually able to make a presentation and present it, and it would actually influence the decision on what we're putting in client portfolios. So that was something that was super awesome for me to do as an intern.
That's awesome. So what's next for you? I know you're a rising junior, so after this internship, what are your ideas and thoughts of the rest of your college experience?
Yeah, so after Skyline Advisors, I'm set to go to Chicago and intern at Solomon Partners as an investment banking analyst in their business services group. And that's kind of my goal, is to eventually get there and work hard on that internship and eventually hopefully receive a full-time offer after that, and hopefully go full-time in Chicago after that. But that's kind of the professional goals. But here while I'm at UNL, I've only got 2 years left, and I just want to continue to make the most of it and build those relationships with those friends that I have and continue to make new ones. Just kind of enjoy my time while I'm here.
Well, you've definitely maximized your first 2 years of college, and so I have no qualms that you're going to do that again for the rest of your experience. So thanks for chatting with us today, Will.
Yeah, thanks for having me.